like you've been sitting around all week using your laptop, maybe working from home, and your hips are starting to feel tight, uncomfortable, even up towards the spine, feeling a little bit not so great. We're going to look at how we can nourish the hips, gently open them out, give you some hip mobility exercises to work on, and to offer our bodies some self-care. So let's start off on our spine and look at how the hip is doing today. We're going to analyze our own range of motion. So try not to think about what my range of motion looks like on camera, and maybe use my voice as your guide and think about how your hip mobility is today. So take a moment to gently lie back, release the spine down and fully relax your shoulders down. And then from here, get comfy on the mat and just gently take your right knee into chest. Take the hands to the top of that right knee and hug it in. And just come to an awareness of that range of motion. The left leg could have the foot firmly down, or you could release the leg long. Either works. And just noticing how far does this right knee come in towards your belly and chest. So if you're a little bit stuck, then you'll be noticing that your range of motion is dropping, maybe from not moving so much this week. And that's just a first indication, and it just lets you know each time you check, how is your hip mobility at the moment. Then another way of checking is to just take the right knee in a little towards the chest, flex the right foot, take the left and right hand to the thigh, and think about an external rotation of the thigh without the thigh moving right or left. So it's just going to gently spiral to the right. So you'll see the left shin, your left shin will naturally come towards the left. Now take a look at your own leg, and once you've spiraled and gently externally rotated that thigh, just have an awareness of how far your shin moves towards the left knee and how far you feel like you have in that range of motion. And gently move back to neutral, so the thigh is in its normal position, connecting into the pelvis. Take an inhale and exhale, gently find that external rotation again. And now try some internal rotation, so the thigh will spiral in the opposite direction as if it's mobilizing and turning inside towards the inner left thigh. And you're going to notice the shin's going to move out to the right. Just have an awareness of that range of mobility you have today. And come back to neutral. Breathe, inhale, and exhale, repeat. Find neutral and place the foot down. I have my left hand just supporting the back of my head. It's more because I've got a clip stuck to the top of my head, so you can do whatever is comfortable for you. You don't have to have the hand behind the head. And shoulders relaxed and back. Right knee draws into chest. You're just gently going to place that right ankle to heel area onto the top of the left knee. So you have a figure four setup. Just relaxing the spine to a neutral sense of ease. And now we're going to find a movement for that right knee coming in and out. You're going to keep the right foot flexed, and you might be noticing that you're using the psoas muscle, so the internal muscle behind the belly button. It's like an elastic band working forwards and back to gently trigger and pull the right thigh and knee and all of the right leg in and back. So we're just seeing how that range of motion is and encouraging that sense of mobility. You could do this, I would suggest, 10 to 20 times. So just maybe close the eyes and focus on the body. So really coming into your body now. Use the breath, that yogic breath, having a gentle sense of awareness of your breath. How do you feel? How does that right side hip flexor feel? Can you take a longer, deeper inhale with the right foot flexed and a longer, deeper exhale? We'll do 5 more. Shoulders are relaxed, keeping that sense of a neutral spine. Maybe just 2, Okay. Then from here we're going to take the right hand towards the top of towards the thigh where it just meets the knee. Keep flexing the right foot. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, gently press the right thigh away from you. So it's an assisted stretch now. So you can feel that gentle, deeper stretch on the inside thigh, adductor muscles of the thigh. Keep flexing the right foot. That can protect the knee and offer a deeper stretch to the base of the shin. Breathe here, 3. Breathing 2. And on 1, gently release and let go. And we'll do the other side. So taking the right knee into chest, mobilizing maybe through that right ankle, releasing the foot to the ground, left knee in. Now can we come to a range of motion here? So just have the awareness. Sometimes for me my left side is stickier, so a lot tighter. So just noticing, how is your range of motion this side? Having that gentle awareness. Breathing into it. It's a great one to do because each week might be different. Maybe every few days, every second day, you'll do this stretch. And then coming to that sense of external and internal mobility. So I'll just keep the foot a little bit flexed. Take the hand to the thigh and gently feel internal. Foot goes out to the left. Thigh gently spirals inwards towards the belly button. And just see how that range of motion is for you. And then switch it to external, which is what we usually end up doing in yoga, is a lot of external. So just finding, where does the shin come to today? Won't look the same as me. Maybe I'm tighter than you in the backs of my hamstrings and my hip flexor. Maybe I've got a little bit more flexibility. It doesn't matter. What you want to notice is how your own body feels today in this very moment. Good. And then just releasing. Maybe finding a little bit of movement and placing that left side heel and ankle on top of the right side knee. And just coming to that nice range of motion without assisting. So you're using your own core, that inner psoas muscle, to gently move the knee towards you and away. So it can be quite a mindful exercise where all you need to do is close the eyes and focus on that mobility. Really staying with your body, working with the breath, using that prana, your energy of the inhale, the exhale. No rules with the breathing, no judgment with your body. If you feel tight, if you feel, oh, I'm losing a lot of hip mobility this week, this month, that's okay. Give yourself a break. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's a challenging month for the whole world. So can you just really have an awareness and offer yourself that kindness and self-love and just give a little more self-care to your body every day. Good. Okay. So settling the spine down. We still have about 10 more to go. Keeping the left foot flexed. Using the inhale maybe to draw the knee in, the exhale to press away. Noticing, how does your left side hip feel in this movement? I want to try and keep a sense of stillness to the right side leg. And we'll do about 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to take the left hand now to the left thigh. Take a longer, deeper inhale. Press the right foot to earth and exhale. Gently assist the stretch. Breathe into it. Longer, deeper inhale. And exhale. Good. Should be a really nice, easy, gentle sensation. So if there's a deeper sense of pain, definitely back off. We're avoiding any bone-on-bone stretching. So just the muscle group stretching, so it should feel that deep but good stretch, like a good edge. And now release. Both feet back to earth. Now take the knees into chest, hug in, draw your chin to chest, take the heels to the sit bones, scoop the hands under the thighs, hug like a ball, take an inhale, and as you exhale, gently tip forward and then keep hugging the heels to the sit bones. Let's just gently roll up to a cross-legged seat. And now we're going to do baddha konasana. So for baddha konasana, it's a hip opener. We'll start with the knees drawing in and the feet to the earth. And then from here, we're going to think about where the thigh bone meets the hip. So that's our greater trochanter. So the bone at the base of that thigh bone, it's our heaviest bone in the body. We're gently going to let the hands or fingers rest on. Think about that bone moving down to the earth as the knees open wide. And now take the hands to the feet. Let the sit bones open, so the fascia under the left and right glute. You're just going to let that find comfort and ease to the earth. Close the eyes and just take a moment to arrive into this bound angle pose, breathing into the belly. From here, we're going to work this asana a little bit deeper. So taking awareness now to the knees, and if you're feeling any discomfort, we're going to avoid any knee pain. So you might feel like raising the knees up if that was at all uncomfortable. It's normal to feel a release to the inner thigh. That's our inner adductor muscles gently stretching. That's what we want. It should feel good, a tight, deep stretch maybe. Then from here, we're going to take our awareness to the spine. So I'm going to give you a side view of this asana. If you feel like your spine is in a C-curved collapsed state, it could mean that your spine muscles to the back body, the posterior chain of your back, are turning off. And also it would mean that your inner psoas is turning off, the hip flexors are a little bit lazy. Maybe that's because you've been in sort of an iPhone position all week or using the computer. So we're going to gently encourage those back muscles. They're small, dense matrix of muscles. They're as tiny as our hair. And we're going to encourage them to turn on. So the multifidus muscles of the spine. We're going to lift up, press the chest forwards a little. Feel the pelvis soften a little deeper to the earth. Engage that inner psoas muscle, so drawing the belly button, low belly in. Taking the hands back to the feet and just feeling a little lift, so the sternum lifts forwards. We do need to engage the muscles as we also stretch the inside thigh and breathe into that position. Now let's take our awareness to the hands. In baddha konasana, the feet might be opening like a page of a book. So the base of the feet that you would walk on usually are now looking up towards your face. So the thumbs could go inside to the midpoint of the foot, to the pad of the foot, and the forefingers could wrap around the outside of the foot. And you could gently use that to activate the ankle muscles, which will then support the knees, and just breathe into the position as you keep lifting through the spine. So keeping that active, strong spine. And we'll take 3 breaths here. So we're using a still baddha konasana to start on. Just easing into the body, arriving into this hip opener. Last deep breath. Feeling that little release to the legs. And now we're going to change the asana towards a dynamic stretch. So taking the hands around the feet, finding comfort, so you might want to readjust the sit bones so you can lift through the spine, gently peel the chest forwards, pressing through the sit bones. And take a lovely long deep inhale. And this time as you exhale, you're going to move the knees up and down and keep repeating. So we're fluttering our knees up and down. This is also called a butterfly seat. So you're really getting that sense of butterfly in the knees now, as if they're the wings of a butterfly. And we're offering the body a really gorgeous sense of mobility. So by lifting those knees up and down and repeating the flutter, we're activating the inside thigh muscles, the adductor muscles of the thigh. We're engaging into that psoas, so the muscle behind the belly button that also works into our spine, activating and mobilizing our hip flexors. And it's great to repeat again and again. So you can see I'm just fluttering away. You can go slowly, slow flutters, or a little faster as you just bounce the knees. And the reason we would do a dynamic stretch is in a static stretch, we're not pushing or mobilizing the muscle groups in their range of motion. They're just staying very static. So you're not necessarily strengthening the muscle. When you offer the body a dynamic stretch, you're allowing those muscles to reach full range of motion back and forth with movement. So the muscle itself is given the chance to strengthen as well as lengthen. So that's quite important depending on your body type, but for yogis, we tend to do an awful lot of flexibility and forget about the strength of a muscle, especially if you are hypermobile, which I am in certain areas of my body. So that's why it's good to really check in with your body, notice if you are lacking strength, and what can you do to build up that strength. So we're going to go for maybe 10 more. Maybe close the eyes, keep breathing into the belly, feeling really good, happy hips for sure now. They're talking to me, I'll tell you that. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just releasing to stillness. Definitely feeling the sensations in the inner thighs. And I'm going to gently hug, take the hands outside the left and right knee and gently hug those knees in once more. Hugging around the shins, relaxing chin to chest. Taking a gorgeous breath, nourishing breath, breath flowing. Just connecting in. So now we're feeling a little more warmth into those hips. Let's move on to our frog. So coming onto the knees, sitting the sit bones to the heels, taking the hands ahead and opening the knees now wide to the side of your mat. Forgetting what my body type looks like in this one, because I could be tighter than you, but just watching your knees and noticing how wide you want to take them. Maybe they want to go a little wider to your mat, just seeing how that feels. Maybe mobilize the pelvis a little forwards and back. And now take your awareness to the shins. Can you flex the feet? And find that 90-degree line from your shin to the thigh. So you have that same 90-degree angle from the foot to the shin. Hands back to the mat. And then gently keeping the pelvis in line to the knees. Take the forearms now down, pressing the palms down to the earth, leaving the elbows under the shoulders, and we're just gently going to rock back and forth. Gaze down the nose, even close the eyes, keep the sensation of a flexed foot. Draw forwards on the inhale, exhale back. So we're rocking for a dynamic stretch sensation once more. I'm keeping a sense of heaviness through my shins, so earthing the shin, the ankle, so it can feel more supported then through the knees. And I'm noticing the stretch inside thigh, definitely feeling the mobility from the hip, creating that happy hip feeling. And offering a deeper rock if that feels okay. So increasing the range of motion a little further forward, a little further back. And you could do 10 to 20 of these. If it felt too deep being on the forearm, you could come a little further up with the shoulders over the wrists and gently rock from a higher position. You could walk those forearms a little further forwards to deepen the range of motion, or increase the range of motion, rocking forwards and back. So I invite you to close the eyes, arrive into the body, so really connecting into how do you feel, and just gently play with that mobility, inhaling, exhaling. Slow could be really nourishing. I don't think I'd feel like going super fast in these. And I'm going to go for 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Gently take the pelvis in line to the knees. Press through the palms, walk the palms under the shoulders. Gently draw the knees now in towards one another. Undo those feet, so unflexing the feet. Maybe curl the toes to the mat for a little stretch. And just come down for a child's pose breather in between. Gently coming up for a runner's lunge, also known as anjaneyasana. So lifting up, hips over knees, left foot forward for today, left knee over left ankle. Option to curl the toes onto the back foot to stabilize, or just stay on the top of the foot. And then let's focus on a really simple anjaneyasana to engage the hip flexors. So we're going to avoid a spine opening stretch here, so we can focus on stabilizing and strengthening the hips. So first of all, gazes forwards, left foot presses down to earth and towards the midline to engage the muscles of the ankle, shin and thigh, and then towards hip flexor. Back leg equally, you're pressing it down into the midline, so the shin, the base of the foot or the toes, press down to midline. Low belly in, core active and engaged, softening the ribs to the hips. So if you feel a sense of flaring the ribs, try and engage the psoas muscle and stabilize, softening the tailbone down instead of sticking it out. A lot to take in for such a simple position. Then gaze forwards, breathe into the belly, inhale, exhaling, keep working those stabilizers, keep active in your muscle groups, belly, psoas. Breathing here a little longer, staying in the body energy, staying with that sense of strength. Good. Okay. Next layer of this asana is our hip drivers. These are incredible. I learned this one from a sports physio. If you take a moment to walk the left foot out, just maybe an inch, so you feel nice and stable if you were to move the hip forwards and back. And then notice, do you want to curl the back toes or is the foot comfortable as is? Left hand relaxes to left thigh. Now we're going to bend the elbow of the right arm and find the elbow in line to that right shoulder. Gaze forwards, let the hand be like a spade, open wide. Inhale and take the hip 2 inches forward. Exhale, reach the elbow back and gaze back. Twisting from belly to sternum. And keep a sense of mobility. So we're going to move back and forwards in this one. I would do 5 to 10 every second day or so to keep the inner psoas muscle stretching and mobilizing. So inhaling, exhaling, hip driver. So the arm is acting as the driver. And what we're mobilizing is the inner psoas muscle. We're enjoying a dynamic stretch into that psoas muscle. The psoas runs through the hip and acts with the hip flexors. So we cannot flex the hip without the inner psoas. So Keep that breath flowing. 5 more. How do you feel? I do this one a lot and I never get bored of it. So beneficial. I always feel that incredible deep stretch. So if I'm feeling sticky or uncomfortable, tight in my hips, this is my go-to asana. Okay, maybe last one, I've lost count. Okay, come to neutral, maybe relax the arm, mobilize the shoulder, roll it out. Find the stretch forwards and then reach the arm back towards the shin. Front arm can reach up and back for 3, 2, 1. Coming back to neutral, hands to mat. And we're going to find the back heel reaching towards the back glute for a deeper quad stretch. If you need the space for the pelvis, walk the left foot slightly out, press the right palm to earth. Take a twist, belly, chest, heart to the right, sweep the left hand back, and just see can you comfortably catch the foot. If you cannot catch that foot, don't worry. You could use a towel or any sort of strap. I've just got a workout strap here, and pop that around the foot instead. So, you know, your body could be stronger than mine, so you might have tighter muscles. I'm quite wimpy in my muscle groups because of hypermobility. I find it really difficult to build any strength. So just notice where you are with your body type. We're all super different. And just breathe into the stretch. Notice my left shoulder, left heart side is opening up skyward. Maybe you're staying gaze down. Just see where you can get comfortable into that stretch. I'm just going to stay in it for 5 more seconds. Easy energy. And gently releasing, hands back to the mat. So left and right hand plants down inside of that left foot. And the foot could either be micro adjusted by walking it slightly further out. We're now going to curl onto the toes of the back right leg. Lift the knee off the mat, keep pressing through the mounds of the hands. Gaze down the nose, sort of like a half lizard. Full lizard, you'd have your forearms to mat. We're going to do a half lizard today. And just breathe into the stability, to the stillness of your lizard. Option to bring the forearms to the mat or stay here for a little longer. Let's do 3 more breaths. Inhaling into the belly, exhaling. Just letting that left side thigh open up and stretch, reaching through the right side inner thigh also. Feeling good. Then dropping the knee back down. Taking a moment here to just earth the feet, earth the back knee, release out the back toes. And then twist belly, chest, heart towards the left thigh once more. Hand to the hip, hand to the thigh I should say, and open up left side. So twisting from the belly up to the sternum. Just a gentle, easy twist here. So we can then walk the left foot further out and lift off the inner arch of the left side. So you can see, if you reach the arm up and back, how does the little twisty stretch feel now? Can we give it a gorgeous name? You can tell me. Good. And hands back to mat. Walking the left foot in, stabilizing. Sweep the foot and knee back to neutral. Child's pose stretch, inhaling, exhaling. Just feeling a little bit of release now and softness in the hip flexors. Let the spine roll up and take the thumbs to that inner crease of the hip. Just offer yourself a little massage there. How is that inner hip crease feeling today? Hands back to thighs, inhaling. Exhale, lifting up hips over knees, and right foot comes forwards. Right knee over right ankle. Stabilize, find everything very strong to center. So the fulcrum of the body, that center balancing point. Option to curl the back toes if you need that for stability. And then let's just find that stable anjaneyasana, runner's lunge position. Tailbone is softening down, core is active, drawing in, obliques equally drawing into center. Front foot is pressing down into the midline, back shin and leg down also to the midline. So all those muscle groups, hip flexors, psoas are engaging. Gazing forwards with the hips square to the front of the mat. And let's stay here in this simple but very active asana for the breath. So can you stay with your body? If the mind is wandering to the past or future events, just gently, without any sense of judgment, draw yourself back to this moment. Back to the body, to the muscle groups that are engaging, breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Good. Okay, now let's take it to our hip driver dynamic stretch. Walk the foot out to the side, if that feels good for you. Take the right hand to the thigh, and let's now take the left hand into a driver. Left hand raises up, left elbow in line with left shoulder. Hand creates that spade-like wave and gaze forwards. So it's just a 2-inch move forwards, 1 or 2 inch. See how that feels. Breathing, inhaling. Exhaling, moving from the belly button up to the sternum, opening the chest to the left, reaching the left elbow back, and coming back to neutral, pressing through that front foot. Repeating, back and forth. Can you make sure that with every move, you move with breath flow? This helps to open up and increase that sense of stretch into the psoas and hip flexor. So inhaling forwards and exhaling to that driver lunge. As you might have noticed, I am terrible at keeping count. So as I said before, we're going to aim for 10 to 5 or 5 to 10 of these. But if you want to press pause and add more on any side, so if you feel like you're a little weaker on the right side foot or left side, do some more that side. I'm going to go for 5 more. Really staying with the body, making any micro adjustments you need to as you drive through, because you might notice the hips opening in the stretch, so you might feel like, okay, I'm going to move my foot slightly further out to the side to give myself more space. Okay, last 2. And last 1. Now in this last one, I'm going to reach my arm up and back, reach the front arm forwards, right arm forwards and up, deep stretch, stirs, gaze wherever you like. It's just a little fun one to add. If you feel like it, bring the foot back into neutral. Coming back up to anjaneyasana for our quad stretch. Left hand plants to earth, right foot could walk out a little bit to the side, see how you feel. Left heel is going to reach towards the left glute. I'm going to sweep my right arm back to catch that left foot. Gaze down the nose, see how the stretch is feeling. And then you could open heart, chest to the right, gently spin the gaze up. Breathe into that one. Adjust, or use your towel or band here to deepen into the stretch, or to adjust. Remember, you could be using your towel or a band to hold that foot as a modification, just to let you take time to ease into the stretch. You want to feel really good in a stretch. Can you inhale and exhale, finding a sense of ease. Just a little longer. And then hands back to mat, inside this time of the right foot. Walk the right foot out slightly. So So my right arm is inside the right knee and shin. Left leg can then start lifting. So left knee lifts up, curling into the left toes. Lifted lizard lunge. You could be on the tips of your fingers or just pressing the palms to earth, gazing down the nose, feeling that gorgeous stretch and just staying with your body. How is it feeling compared to the left side lizard? And can you get that gorgeous lizard energy? So closing the eyes, visualizing an Amazonian lizard. I love the name of this one. I love creative images. Working with any guided visualization that might feel good for you. That playful energy, the inner child. And then dropping left knee back to earth, walking the right foot out, taking the right palm to the left thigh. You could, at this point, lift up the inner arch of the right foot. So you're getting that deeper internal stretch while you find an external rotation in the right thigh. And peeling belly, chest, heart towards that right side. You can reach the arm back. Breathe into this gorgeous twist. Inhaling. Exhaling. Gazing maybe to the back of your mat or keeping the hand to the thigh and gazing down. Just breathing into your belly. And whenever you are ready, releasing to neutral, plugging that thigh back into the pelvis, so you're very connected to the center, walking the foot back to center, and then gently sliding your knee back to neutral. Hands can come back to the thighs. We'll finish now on child's pose. And if you'd like to do series 2 of Happy Hips with me next week, tune in and we'll continue our hip strength, flexibility and mobility. For now, gazing forward, inhaling, exhaling, curling the spine over the thighs and just relaxing chin to chest. Can you let go now of any tension